Welcome, everybody. It is Friday night. We are here. It is the NLG show live here on Twitch. And Fastback's already frozen.
Whoa.
Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I got you.
Refresh. Going out. And he's out.
I'm back. I'm still here.
There we go. Can't be a Friday night. But oh, an 805. Look at that. Where'd you get that?
PAX South, but last year.
Nice. All right, welcome everybody. Turn this light on. How prepared I am tonight. Welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us. We have a great guest with us tonight, and we're going to talk to him about his game, his studio, all things gaming, and we're going to try something kind of new tonight. And if it works and it doesn't turn my computer into jelly, might be something we try later on. But before we introduce him, of course, we have the crew with me tonight, my able-bodied co-host. Introduce yourself, boys.
Hey, this is Peter Heuting, aka HDK. What's going on, guys?
And this is Chris Williams, aka Fastback 6768. Let's go. It's Friday.
We're gonna call you Agent QT. Agent P.
Yeah.
Agent P.
I was gonna say it's Friday. I'm still gonna enjoy a beer, but I gotta go to work tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh man, early.
I gotta pour this game in. I mean, it's expensive, especially this month.
Work early?
Yeah.
All right, then we won't drag this out.
Yeah, we're good.
So, all right, introducing with the awesome Sonic shirt. Look at
Yep. There we go.
Nice.
Wow, very nice. It is our absolute pleasure to. Mike, you are not loud. No. Okay, hold on.
Hold on a second.
Nope,
That could have been a compliment, though.
Yeah, it could be.
Thank you very much.
Hold on, let's see what happens.
I don't know.
All right, how about now? All right, here we go. I think I'm okay now.
Yeah, I'm restarting my camera just in case because it looks like it cut.
Yeah, I had to do that ever so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Siberia says that's better. See, it's not a show. Oh, and of course we got Rick's. I never changed from Rick's. Hold on, let me. That is not Rick Lagnezy from Warhorse Studios. That is. This is Diego Almazan from Warp Core Studio. How you doing, Diego? Thank you for coming on with us tonight.
Oh, thank you guys. I'm really excited to be here. I've been working on Aqua Lenders for a long time now, and I'm just excited to get in front of some guys like yourselves. So.
Well, yeah, and so we found you thanks to Chris, who found you at PAX South, and
Yeah, I didn't get. Unfortunately, I didn't get to talk to him at PAX South because he was there talking to someone else. But I think one of your assistants.
Oh man.
I talked to them, but then I got into play. So.
Awesome.
But no, I think you gave me the controller too. You're like, hey, jump in. So.
Yeah. That's kind of what I do at the shows is run around trying to get as many people to sit down. With
you were busy. I gave it to my mom. You were engaged, so that's what you're there
Thanks.
for. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you stopped by, man. That's it's awesome that you got to check it out, and now we're all here. So
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed what I played. I had a good time, so it stayed on my mind. And I told these guys, hey, I want to try to get a couple developers on that some of the games that I got to play. So I'm definitely glad that you said, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and we really enjoy having developers on, especially indie developers. We've come to really, to be honest with you, we've come to really respect what the indie development community does. I mean, you guys, you're not AAA developers. You don't have a budget of $45 million to make a game. You don't have 45, 50 employees working on your title. So, like a game like the game you're working on, Aqua Lungers. Sorry, is it Lungers or Lungers? It's spelled Lungers, and all I can think of is Lunger.
I would say Lunger.
And then
I like to tell people it's both.
Okay. Well, if I think the problem is if I say Lungers, then my mind automatically goes to the movie Tombstone.
Okay.
Because that's what they called Doc Holliday. That's what the bad guys called Doc Holliday's character in that movie was Lunger, because he had.
Oh wow! Okay.
What did he have? He had what did Doc Holliday have? He had some. I don't know. He died of something, tuberculosis or something like that. So not that. So maybe you don't want to be called Aqualungers anymore. Maybe,
well, to be fair, there's a lot of dying in Aqualungers. Also. Yeah, I mean, an aqualung is an old timey name for a breathing apparatus.
Yes.
Oxygen tank. So
as well as a pretty decent Jethro Tull song.
Yeah, but another part of the game is lunging around with your spear and diving and all that stuff. So aqualungers also. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but in all seriousness, you're building this game on your own, right?
Yes, mostly. I get a little bit of help here and there with music. I actually just partnered up with a programmer that I met at Global Game Jam the other week.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's been cool. He is a lot more experienced than I am as a programmer, so yeah, it's kind of fun watching somebody who knows what he's doing, like, go through all my code and tell me what's wrong with it.
See, that's cool, because I remember Garrett Cooper from Black Guy's game. He told us about that when he was on. Yeah. So I missed watching that. I forgot about that.
It's a really cool event. Yeah, we did it out here in Houston. We had 102 people, something like that, all get together in different teams making stuff, and like a lot of people were just happy to hang out and kind of learn from each other and try to do something different than what they're used to. So.
Very nice. So I did grab some trailers and stuff. So while we're watching this, let's talk about you for a minute. Relatively young guy appears. So is this your first game?
This is my first solo project.
Okay.
I've been working in video games for something like 12 years at this point. Yeah, mostly as an artist, making 2D concept art type stuff. But yeah, it's kind of funny because, like, as basically a painter, a concept painter, people don't expect you to know much about anything technical. And I went to college and studied a lot of like 3D stuff and compositing and all these different things that can be used for making digital media.
Mm-hmm.
But I just fell in love with the concept of coming up with the idea and figuring out what things look like before anybody else gets to mess with it. And that was kind of what I pursued for a long time. But I also had knowledge that I just wasn't ever using, and it was getting a little rusty. So at some point I decided that I wanted to do more than what I was doing. So I kind of went into development with some friends. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a thing called the Indie Van Game Jam.
I have heard of the Game Jam.
So the Indie Van Game Jam was a concept where we would travel in a van to meet other game developers and make a game en route.
Oh wow!
In an attempt to learn something about the people we were going to go talk to. So yeah, it was a really cool concept. We made a bunch of really cool jams. It didn't super work out in the long run, but we're all still friends, which is cool. But that was kind of the experience where I learned how to use Unity and kind of got to sink my teeth more into some of the technical aspects of making game assets. Instead of just making art, it's actually making art that would get used and put into the game. And then after that, it was like, well, heck, if I could at least learn to code a little bit, I could start just doing whatever I want.
Nice.
So that's kind of how I ended up where I am now.
Nice.
I want to try.
Yeah, my daughter, she's interested in the graphical art, for gaming. She's in a program called SACI. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's a program, nonprofit art program here in San Antonio. And so
cool.
they have different, like theater, media, and she's in the program called Hive, and then they work on gaming. So, they have, it's like a little development team, and, they do coding and stuff like that. So she's learning a little bit of everything. So she is learning Unity. So she's got one more year in high school, and so, see where she wants to go with it, and, have fun. And I talked to her about that, like you were talking about how, you've always done the artistic part of gaming, and you wanted to do, more than that. So she's talked about that too. So I think the developer we had from Black Guys, he talked about how something like the game jam where people, developers, people get together and they just come up and make a game, learn from each other. And I told her that's something that she needs to look into. So we'll look into that and, just have fun,
Yeah,
the only way to learn is just to try it. And
it's an awesome way to get in there and meet people and just try some stuff. One of the things that we did when this year was my friend who does my audio, my music for me was interested in. Well, he's been learning how to use Wise, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wise, but it's like a super complex but powerful audio tool for getting music and sound effects in the game. But it's this whole system that you have to integrate. So his goal for that project was to actually build Wise into a game and get it all using in that system.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I would do on my projects right now, but we made it work and it was cool and different. And same thing for your daughter. It's cool just getting out there and just trying stuff, even if it's something you're still kind of getting familiar with or whatever.
Yeah.
The point is to get out there and have fun and meet some people and try. Yeah, like you're saying.
And like we were talking about the indie scene, like the PAX South, these past 4 years, I've seen the indie games just grow, and I've seen more people. Like this time, this PAX South had Xbox, it had Sony, and you had another with Bandai Namco, and you had those big booths there too. But I saw a bigger presence of indie games also, and it's just great. So I'm just glad to see, new developers like you coming over to PAX South.
Yeah, it's a giant help.
Yeah,
it really does. Yeah.
So I wanted to show. So I grabbed some pictures off of your website because these blew me away.
Yeah.
Not just those, but I want you guys to see these. So
nice.
This was under your personal work. I mean, some of these are just incredible. How long? I mean, so are you? I mean, you're obviously an artist. You're obviously a damn good artist. Did you go to school? Is that what you went to school for? Is that what you?
Yeah. So I went to the Art Institute in Orange County, California, and studied a little bit of kind of art painting type stuff, but also a lot of digital media related stuff. So they try to make it balanced, but you're never gonna get any good at one thing with just what is offered at the school. You kind of have to find something that you're really passionate about and really dig into it. Painting's kind of been that for me. And just video games in general has been the rest of it. But I also love, 80s action movies. You'll probably see that news.
Right up our alley.
Yeah.
I was doing this exercise where I kept it up for a while. Every so often I would try to do a portrait in a night. And this actually these ones that you see here I did on the Surface Pro 3 back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, because it's got the pen,
right,
and the pen works pretty well. It's not the worst pen I've seen by a lot.
No, and now they've got that. You froze again, by the way. Let me see if I can. You may have to. So I'll let you. You'll see when you do freeze. Your logo will be shown there, and not someone else, not Rick from
some stranger.
Right.
Some strange ass dude.
Right. Rick's gonna go. Why is he using my picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did you get the wheel, that crazy Microsoft wheel thing that they?
No, I did not. It seemed like it just did like one or two things at a time. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's just the advertising or but when I went and checked it out at the store, I felt like it didn't quite have what I needed. Yeah, for a while I was using this tool that would put like on-screen buttons. That like you could have like little sliders and stuff that come out, and you could use that for your tools, and that worked pretty well. But eventually, I just got a lot better at the keyboard shortcuts, and that's been kind of doing it for me ever since.
Right. Hey, you're frozen again, by the way.
Man.
So the Morpheus picture is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, but here,
I really like that one.
I like this one. This one's almost even better. By Grapthar's Hammer.
Yes.
That is amazing. I mean, that's Lazarus right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm really fond of that movie.
Oh,
It's one of my favorites.
Movie. I love that movie. It's one of my. It became one of my favorites. By Grapthar's Hammer. What a savings.
I think, yeah, I think one of the things that movie does so well is, and especially Alan Rickman in that role, is he makes it like this mundane thing that's, just kind of sad and pathetic.
Yeah.
And he wants out in a really big way, and Tim Allen keeps shoving him back in. And then, by the end of the movie, it's, like these people are really looking up to him, and he does the whole spiel for him because he dies, and it's like actually really touching. I was just like, oh man, it's too good.
But he's always been like that in a lot of movies, like Harry Potter and. He's always had that mentality that just gloomy.
He's a gloomy
rest
guy.
in peace. Definitely
Yeah. He was good. Yeah, I'm like constantly turning my camera off and on to see if it'll stick, but
it's cool. And
We'll
is
see.
what it is.
So, I'm sorry, real quick. You said you worked graphic artist for other games. What other games did you work on as far as your art was in?
The longest project I was on was Star Wars: The Old Republic, and that was from 2008 to 2012. No, longer than that.
So you were on that?
Yeah.
'Cause that came out. I remember when that came out. It was 2011. That was a huge.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking game.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed that.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So your reputation precedes you, sir.
We had a big concept art team with a lot of really great talent on it. So I definitely learned a lot from them, and I wouldn't say I carried the team. But yeah, no, that was a great place to work for a long time. There's still a lot of great people there, and I still always wish them luck because they're good guys.
So you worked for BioWare?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was in Austin, right? Is it the Austin team? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I lived out there for, I think, 9 years, and finally moved to Houston because my wife works in energy, and all the energy jobs are out here.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
But yeah, it kind of gives me the opportunity to chase my dream of becoming of turning my company into a game studio. Yeah, like to start with, Warped Core Studio is basically my freelance business, which I would make art for other groups and things like that. And the idea was to hopefully, have a situation where I could build games and maybe even have a team. So
nice. Now,
I don't.
Moby Games, by the way, lists you as contributing to Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Okay, see, none of this is on your website, dude. You need to update your creds, because this is actually I'm getting more and more impressed as I talk to you.
I appreciate that.
I mean, just looking at your artwork on your
I can't remember if that's on my about page.
I'm
Is
looking.
it on my
Hold
about
on,
page?
hold on. Let me see. Well, you've got personal work, client work, and contact, and you've got a blog. I didn't see an about
Okay.
unless I missed it.
Okay.
Which I might have missed it, but I don't see it up in your menu.
Nah, I might be mistaking it with my old like our page, my Carbon Made site. I think had all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I think I'm trying to treat it less like a resume and more like a company site or something, or like an art page.
I hear you. But that is impressive. That really is. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus is.
I was so thrilled to be on that project. Like, I was only there for a short time. Unfortunately, they didn't have a huge need for concept artists, but they did have some. So it was cool. But I pretty much repainted the map for that game, which is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So so you have a pretty you've got a pretty good graphics resume. And again, the stuff that we just showed speaks for itself. I mean, it's really cool. So so before you got into Aqualungers,
just use both of the sounds.
I know. I just want to go there.
Keep tripping on that.
Yeah.
Lungatures.
Yeah. So what was this little thing that you did? Your little Space Invaders clone.
That was my first game I ever made all by myself. It was a school exercise. I was taking a game scripting class at Austin Community College, and the exercise here was to do a Space Invaders clone, using the whatever knowledge we had up until that point.
Okay.
And the way it works is you got your controls. I got gamepad controls tied into there, which is cool. Of course, I put my own little spin on it. I put Mega Man rules for the blaster, so you can only have 3 on screen, and you could charge it and have a powered blaster. And then each round, it would add a row and then a column, and then it would add an increasing amount of it would have like a hit point pool, and it would go in and add hit points randomly to each critter. So some of them would have more hit points than others, and they'd get stronger and stronger over time. And then at the bottom, I added these little shields that you could put up where it would spawn this little array of shields that would take a finite amount of damage before they broke and went away. But that was a fun one. I was showing one of my friends the other day, and I still think it's pretty fun to play. So, yeah,
that's very cool. All right, so we're gonna try this. Let's see if this works. See if this doesn't blow up. My CPU is at about 93%. So this is either gonna work or it's gonna chug. So, folks in the chat, our stalwart chat guys, let us know how this looks on your end. We are going to, thanks to the power of this program that Diego showed me called Parsec, I am going to, where did it go? Okay, the question is, where did it go?
Let's see, are you still on? Looks like you are.
Yeah. Do I have to do a new, did I remove it? I don't think so. Hold on. Oh, here it is. All right.
Hey, that's my game.
All right. So, let's get to the meat of what you've built here. So this is Aqualungers, and why don't you give us the very quick rundown on the game itself? It's very colorful, very, very pretty.
Thanks. So the basic gist of Aqualungers is it's a 4-player competitive undersea treasure hunting game. The goal for each player is to explore the stage to collect gold, and they don't actually score points until they bring the gold back to their own treasure chest and dump it in. So any gold that they're carrying, it's capture the flag rules or Sonic the Hedgehog rules, like this.
Yeah.
Where if you get hit, you can drop some or all of it, depending on how hard you're hit. And then other players can take what you've dropped and try to score it themselves. And then you might notice in the trailer there's an assortment of monsters that show up. Each level has a boss monster, and they kind of function as an honorary player. They have a score just like the player does. They're a tiny bit different in that the boss doesn't actually have to deposit the gold anywhere, but if you attack the monster and it drops money, its score is depleted. So it gives you a chance to kind of keep things in balance if the monster's points get a little bit too far ahead of everybody else.
So you're trying to compete with not dying from the monsters and compete with not dying from the other people you're playing against.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Chris and Peter kind of take this over a little bit because they've played the game. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to. I'm going to full disclosure. I'm not my PC playing days I left in college, so it's hard.
Okay.
And unless you're bringing this thing out for the Xbox or PS4, I might.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. It's funny
really?
you mentioned that because this game is gamepad only. It doesn't use keyboard and mouse controls. It's only gamepad controls.
Okay.
So it's basically intended as a console game.
Uh-huh.
It's just I haven't gotten any AOKs from Nintendo or Sony or Xbox yet.
Really?
So yeah. So currently I'm just focused on getting the game to a full 1.0 release.
Okay.
And
are you
then
in early access?
Yeah, it's on Steam
okay.
right now.
Okay. And that may be okay. So that's more or less why probably Nintendo and Sony are out at the moment. They don't have early access. Microsoft does, but I could see. And we talked about this with Garrett too. This would make one hell of a Game Pass title.
Yeah, I think so.
So, now have you so when you talk to the guys at Xbox, did you approach Chris Charla about this? Because I would imagine Charla would love a game like this.
I have not. Usually, I've gone through like a contact who knows a contact, and
Gotcha.
and it hasn't quite worked out. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I think the more complete and polished the game is, I think the better shot I have. So. Like I said, I'm just focused on trying to get it done at this point,
Sure.
and then start doing more marketing.
When do you think you're going to come out of early access? Do you have a time frame, or you just?
I do have a time frame. It's actually really soon. I'm shooting for end of March.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm actually finally in a spot where I've been able to work. And yeah, there's a lot of UI stuff to do still, and the map needs a ton of stuff, but those are the biggest things. Other than that, I mean, everything works. The rules are all in. It just needs more art.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a good-looking game in person.
Mm-hmm.
Peter played it.
Yeah, I played it a little bit. At first, was like, I'm on my keyboard. It's like, it's not working. It's like, oh, wait a second, I need a controller. Okay, so I grabbed one controller, and it's like, it's still not doing anything. It's like, I mean, I picked my character and stuff, and it's like, oh wait, I need a second controller. So wired one up. I didn't have anybody to play with me, so I just had one attached. But just going through the level, collecting the gold and depositing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's, I think, been one of the challenges is not everybody has, somebody around to play the game with, and it is kind of built for free-for-all multiplayer type situations. But one of the things I've been finding out at shows is, people just want to be able to either practice on it by themselves, or some of them actually want to play together with their friends in a co-op type thing.
Mm.
So that's part of the reason why I ended up making the monster score points, because when players play together in a team, it gives them something to work against a little bit more, and it makes the game more fun.
Right. Do you plan on having like single player against the monsters?
It's basically just that. I mean, if you play a match by yourself, it's going to be the same. But a lot of what I've been doing is just trying to balance it so that the game is still fun when you play it single player.
Okay.
So do you have AI? So the other players are AI players, or is it just you against the monsters at that point?
It's just you against the monsters.
Okay. Does it still require, like Peter was saying, he needed 2 controllers? Does it still require that even if it's in single player?
No, it shouldn't. I'm not sure why the one didn't. The one didn't work by itself.
Right.
Maybe I could ask you about that and see if it still happens.
Yeah,
that would be a good thing to kind of debug.
All right. So give us a we're watching the demo, and so what I want people to know is this is not a trailer that I'm playing back and forth. This is actually a live game.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, please do.
I'm gonna go in here. All right.
While you're doing
Should I put the audio on?
You could put it on a little bit, but we still want to, of course, be able to talk.
Here, I'll turn it on and see if it's at a good level.
Okay.
Let's see here. How's that?
Hang on, it needs to come.
Oh, right. There we go.
I'm fine. Well, if trust me, the chat room will let us know.
Okay, cool.
So.
All right, let's see.
All right. So while you're playing, give us kind of the some more of the rundown on how you came to be with this, and I'd love to hear how you came up with this idea.
Yeah. So the basic bones of the idea, well, I guess it started with me and my friends just enjoying a lot of like Lovecraftian horror stuff, and I had that in the mind for a while. So I had in mind to do like a Lovecraftian mystery game where you dive down in the water and solve mysteries or something. But the way I pictured it was kind of a bigger project. So when I was doing my my coding training, I decided to try my hand at putting a platformer together that involved diving also, to see if that's something that would even be in my league with what I knew how to do. And it basically formed the basis for what this game was. I had all, gray and white boxes, and the monster was a picture of a monster. Yeah, and I don't know, for some reason I decided that, I should make it 4 players and make them fight over money. And it turned out really good. So I've been kind of sticking with it. The game's been a blast to work on from the start. I still love making monsters for it. I still love playing it, and having a game I could win against my friends, is always a good feeling. Yeah. Oh yeah, people are always a little bit confused about the fish eggs. They don't, like, if I throw it out here, it won't do a whole lot, but as soon as it goes in the water, it spawns some fish. Now, you don't normally want to do that to yourself, but you can totally do it to your friends, and it makes them kind of upset, which is cool. That's what we want.
Give them a distraction while you're getting the gold.
It's almost like a mini. It's like a 2D version of Underwater Power Stone.
Yeah, I loved me some Power Stone back in the day.
Yes, sir.
In fact, that's probably one of the reasons. I mean, yeah, back in the, I guess, mid '90s or so, there's a pretty good selection of multiplayer co-op games, right? I guess because that's how multiplayer was done. But yeah, I mean, I'd spent a lot of time with my brothers playing stuff. We had Power Stone. Our friends had GoldenEye. There was Mario Kart. All that.
GoldenEye was so good.
Yeah, it was. I was super bad at it, but I was happy to be there.
Hey, the Nintendo 64 was a pretty good console. It's the console I always tell people broke me of my Sega fanboyism.
Yeah,
it's no Dreamcast, but it's still a.
I still found pretty hard on Sega Genesis. I love those games, but like I go back to them now and I'm like, dang it, the Super Nintendo ones are better.
Now you see, Chris will love it now.
Yeah.
I'm big on. Super Nintendo's my favorite. I grew up on that. So what was your first game or system that you remember?
NES. Yeah.
NES,
Like I have these really, really vague memories of having an NES around when I was really, really young, and not quite knowing like what it did. But yeah, at some point, like not too long after that, I saw Mega Man 2 and everything changed.
Yeah. So you said you had brothers. So are you the youngest, oldest, or?
I'm the middle brother, and then we have a youngest sister who would be the fourth.
Yeah. So I grew up too with brothers, and I'm the oldest. So me and the middle brother would be playing, and then the youngest one would see us playing the NES or Super NES, and we'd give him a controller, but it wasn't plugged in, so he thought he was playing. He probably went through the same deal until figured it out.
Oh my God, you are brutal. Wow. It reminds me too how young you people are when you say my first system was an NES.
Yeah.
Oh, my first system was the Pong. I'm as old as you are.
I know you are. My first Pong was my first real system was the Intellivision.
Yeah.
So
and then on top of that, there's kids running around making me feel old. Like they're like, Halo was old school, and you're like, no.
No, shut you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fortnite forever. Yeah. No, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Stop. When you're first. Yeah. No.
Now speaking of especially like nowadays, is Aqua Lunger's on Steam, right?
Yeah.
Do you plan on having maybe a mobile?
Not really. Just because I can't see soft keys working well for this game. Like I'm using like all the face buttons, the D-pad, and the bumpers. To have all the controls needed. Yeah. I feel like and like a lot of the controls need to be pretty tight in order for players to do well at the game. I don't know. I mean, unless like somebody could feel like they're really good at something like Smash Brothers or Street Fighter on with cell phone controls, then I don't think it'll work well.
You'd be surprised. Some of these kids, I just see them. All they do is play, mobile games. I got a buddy at work, and he's playing a fighting game mobile. He just smashing the screen.
Okay.
So that's been a big thing lately. That's why you see some of these, like Xboxes, and some of the companies are starting to get into mobile now. Bringing their games streaming. But there are controller adapters that you can hook up.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
And I actually have done tests. Like I could make an Android build, and it does work. Like it chugs like crazy on my phone, but but it does work. Oh yeah, I think the mapping comes out different too, which is weird. But
so every level, I saw on level 1, it's when you get to 3,000, right?
Yeah.
So does it go up every level?
It does not. No, it just gets harder.
I don't know why I thought when I was doing the 4-player, I thought it said 6,000.
That's possible. You can actually change it.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, if I back out of here and I go to the menu, any level that's been completed opens up this option menu.
Yeah.
It gives you access to your stats. The leaderboard is still in the works. I'm actually really excited about it. The leaderboard's brand new. You can enter your name in the game a little bit more kind of arcade style,
Nice.
but it keeps track of the top amount of player kills, top amount of creature kills, treasure pilfered, which is like how much money you make somebody else drop, and then like the fastest times. And then I actually keep records of like all the matches that you've played, and it kind of shows you your stats. You can see that. You can look at your controls, which is always helpful. You could change how many points you play through over here.
Okay, yeah.
You could set a time limit. You can do unlimited lives. And then you can actually change the monster that shows up.
Those are some great
those monsters look
design.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. This one's I'm really excited about. I've been doing a lot of changes to him because I changed his home. He doesn't live in the dungeon anymore. Now he lives in the volcano. So he does way more stuff, and he's super terrifying.
Yeah. So wow. So I mean, you can almost tell from you. The folks watching this won't be able to tell because we cap our show at 30. But this is pretty running at 60 frames per second, isn't it? I mean, it looks like it's
plus, yeah. I like to turn off VSync, but yeah, by default it'll run at 60 frames a second.
So you can uncap it.
Yeah, I like having it off. It kills some of the input lag, which I like. And for stuff like this, you don't want input lag.
No.
So yeah, I try to make things like that easy to do. But yeah, to give an idea, on my gaming laptop, it's got a GTX 1070 on it, so it's a pretty solid laptop. It runs the game at 4K at about 400 frames a second.
Good God.
Wow.
Well, you said you could play this on a Surface Pro 3.
Yeah, you do have to. Well, mine heats up and then starts to chug with everything it does, so it's kind of hard to know exactly how well. But yeah, if you turn it down to about 720 by, I forget what. Yeah, no, it's bigger than that. 720 is the tall, the vertical size. So it'd be like 720 by like 10 something or 9 something.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll play it at that resolution, about 70 frames a second.
Okay. Well, there is a 1070 or 720 by 1080 resolution, but there's also, when you say 720, I usually think 720 horizontal by 480 vertical.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, we had Super Cooper in chat. He played Aqualunders also for us. And
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. This is a first for us to actually be able to get the
like live gameplay.
We'll get live gameplay here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and also too, I remember when I was playing. I don't know for Peter, but it feels cool. Like when you jump in the water, and then whenever you and I thought it was called lunger because you're lunging the staff when you're at the creatures.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That, to me, that's what
a big part of it.
Yeah, so it feels good when you do that. You get that big lunge, every so often, right? It's like, is that how it works? Like, is it like a? Because there are times like you do a regular, you're stabbing, and then you get this build-up lunge, right?
Yeah. So you got your regular poke, and then if you hold it down, you could charge it.
Yeah.
And you get dash move.
Nice.
And that's actually super, like, it's literally a game changer. Once you learn how to use it, like, you can use it to change direction really quickly. It extends your jumps, and it does more damage also. So like the smart.
Rurutsu wants to know if there's going to be Spartan skins.
Spartan skins. It's not planned, but I'll consider it.
No. I realize that this is a multiplayer game. Your next adventure after this is done, you've got some chops here to do like a regular 2D platformer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking
Thanks.
at some of this level design, and like all I can think of is, boy, this will be this. You know, if you think about what happened with, and I'm not saying with this game to do it, but if you think about what happened with Cuphead and Studio MDHR, is it MDHR or MHDR, one of the two, whichever
Yeah,
one.
MDHR. Yeah.
MDHR. You know, they started out. Their game started out as just a boss rush, and then Microsoft got a hold of them and said, you can do more with this, and then they turned it into not just a boss rush, half boss rush, half like full on platforming levels. And the more I'm watching this, the more I'm thinking to myself, man, this looks like a platformer. So this is definitely something you should research for the future, because I think a game like this would make one hell of a platform game.
Yeah, thanks.
It'll look great on the
like
Switch.
I have spent a lot of time making sure that all the platform mechanics work well. Some of the tricky stuff involves like just the one-way platforms. I'm a big fan of like the, being able to jump down. It's kind of a stupid, simple thing, but for some reason, a lot of games don't have that, and I don't know why. That's like tell people straight out of Contra, because that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have. No, I don't think I have examples. But like, if I have like a ladder that goes behind these, like I could climb up the ladder and it works well. It doesn't get confused or buggy or anything.
Nice.
Like all that stuff takes a lot of time to sort out well. But I don't know. I also like have a lot of opinions about how I want platforming to work and all that sort of thing, and this is a way for me to kind of have one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this really, it's neat because it's got elements of the platformer in it. And
oh man, that was rough.
See, live.
Right. If you want,
actually, the monster's kicking my ass on this one. He's got 2,400 points, and I'm still.
Oh, look at his face. It's like a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want a platformer the way you want it, then you might as well make it your own, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
So you said this one's coming out soon, out of access. Do you have like further content later on, the DLC and stuff like that, add-ons?
Most likely, I'll just be updating it. Yeah, I don't necessarily plan. I don't have a clear plan for like any kind of DLC and things like that. I mostly just want people to have something that's worth checking out. I mean, in the short term, it just means getting things finished, making sure everything is in place. But yeah, hopefully being able to fix any problems that people might find that somehow I didn't, that all becomes important. So in the near term, the plan is just to make sure people are okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, people might just want more Aqualungers, and I don't think I mind doing more Aqualungers. People might want to see something new, and I'm very excited to see what the next thing is. So a lot of it, I think in the short term is just going to be trying to pay attention and listen to, what people might be most interested in seeing after this is out.
So since you've been showing it off, at PAX South and so on, what kind of reaction, some feedback that you've gotten from other people that have been playing it?
So generally the attitudes have been very positive, which is always a good feeling. Some of the reactions are just like, the temp art doesn't look good. I'm like, yeah, that's going to change.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to put people down either, but
no, yeah.
But it's just kind of funny. Like, to me, I'm used to seeing everything that is wrong with the game, and I'm used, I have a pretty good sense of what's got to go, because there's a lot of it still. But every so often people have thoughts about how the controls should work. Most people like them. Let's see. One person suggested that jump in the water should default to pushing you up. And that seemed to make sense. So I kind of put that in. Yeah. Some people didn't like only being able to carry 10 pieces of gold, but I felt like that's kind of important. So it just kind of depends. Like some of the feedback is kind of in line with what I want to get out of the game, and some of it's not, but that's all right. Like what matters is that people are checking it out and giving their feedback to begin with. So
So you said you had some help doing the music. Who did the music for you?
That'd be my friend Michael Kim. Let's see if I have his website. But yeah, I met him at a
You said at a game
kind of a
jam.
co-working deal. No, I met my programmer at Game Jam.
Sorry.
But yeah, Michael actually came out to Houston from Austin to do the Game Jam with me, which is really cool. But yeah, I met him in Austin. I think they still do it. They do a like a little co-working deal at a coffee shop every Wednesday. Just game developers get together and just kind of hang out and work. Yeah, he happened to show up one week, and I liked what he was doing enough that I let him make music for my games. So
Nice.
that's been really cool. Yeah, there's still a bit more to do. Actually, that's something that's going to be a little bit tricky with the deadline coming up. So we're gonna have to see what we could do. But
Day one
yeah,
patch.
he's been awesome. Yeah,
Day one patch. That's how it all
lobby
comes out.
music. Yeah.
So did you meet Garrett Cooper at PAX South? Did you know him? He did the Black Guys. Super Duper. What was it?
Super Games Company.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah, he was. Trying to remember where he was at the. He was on the opposite side of I think Sony's PSVR stuff.
Okay, I don't think I met him.
Yeah, but he talked about too the in Austin, getting with developers and stuff like that. And how he's been able to meet people on Twitter and so on to help him with his game too.
Yeah.
And so I find that interesting.
Here in Houston, they have some groups too. I mean, most of them work through the IGDA.
Okay.
But it's mostly just people like me, or guys who are just trying to get together to make something. Some of them are professionals, some of them are not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a cool thing to see people getting together and helping each other out. In any given town. Here, maybe I should put more stuff. I recently redid art for the ice stage, so this is all pretty new.
Oh.
I think, this art is uploaded on their most recent build on Steam. So the newest stuff is going to be the bosses, but I still like to show this one off. I'm really happy with how it came out. Got some snow. This monster is one of the ones that is going to go. He's going to be replaced by a mega walrus.
Okay, yeah, that'll be cool. Yeah. Fitting for this stage.
Yeah.
Earlier I saw you throwing something on the last stage. What were you throwing?
Oh, so if you look on the top left, it shows that I have 3 javelins.
Okay.
Those are throwing spears. I could throw those. So if I hit a player with those, that's a one-hit kill.
Wow.
They're hard to aim, but that's kind of the fun of it. Is like it gives you 3, and you could try a little bit. This one's the magic missile. I got a whirlwind shield. Here, magic missile's good to show off if I've got some enemies on screen, because it does some extra stuff. Here we go. Let's see. Alright. So that's the magic missile. It's a bubble that flies around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it like retargets stuff as it goes. That one's pretty strong.
Helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got bombs, which you may have seen earlier.
Yep.
They blow stuff up. But yeah, a lot of times the loot ends up kind of everywhere, so you kind of have to think about that. Yeah, let's see if I get the boss to do his super, because I've got a counter to it. Oh. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there he goes. Oh wow.
Nah.
But yeah, those are all homing arrows, so they'll shoot up in the air and then like find targets and chase them. So players who are seeing it for the first time usually kind of wig out because it's way more broken than anything they've seen so far. And then you have to like try to figure out how you're gonna get past that. So it's an attempt on my part to get players to find more strategies if they're not doing so already. Just kind of learn how to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Learn the game, bro. Yeah. Something. Kind of stuff.
Right. Get good.
Yeah. Yeah, because the rest of the game is not going to get easier. This level actually has wind, so sometimes it's better to go down this way. It'll actually kind of boost you if you're going in this direction.
Okay.
The wind on this one's pretty light, but I'm also stacked with treasure, so I'm a little bit heavy anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Oh, maybe I can get try to show more of the power-ups. Yeah. Whatever. I wasn't trying anyway. Let's see.
So how many levels do you have? How many?
Basically, it's 18 standard levels.
Wow.
And 6 boss stages. So the way that's put together is like each island has its 3 main levels, and once you beat all 3 of them, and in multiplayer, it's just like as long as somebody wins who's not the boss, it'll unlock the boss stage, and then in the boss stage you have to kill the boss before times runs out. But once the boss is defeated, it actually looks at everybody's points and determines a winner. So you have the option of just kind of playing greedy and not fighting, but sometimes it comes at the cost of everyone losing. So that's kind of a fun thing to.
But you can also change the option, right? If you want to take the timer off.
Not for boss stages.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Only.
Yeah, so that makes it a little challenging then.
Yeah.
Super Cooper in our chat room said, "I got the Island 3 boss stage and got my butt kicked."
Oh. Yeah. Island 3 is the dungeon, right? With the. Actually, I guess you could tell him to try. Oh no, I haven't uploaded. I'm switching the boss on that stage. It might be better and it might be worse, but yeah, because right now this guy's in the dungeon in the current Steam. In the current Steam build, it's got this guy, and he's got his vacuum attack. He chases you. He's different in that his face is armored, and you have to hit him on his weak points to actually do damage, which is really difficult when he's chasing you around. But yeah, since he wasn't difficult enough, I gave him all those like lightning orbs that he can kill you with, and now he's more frightening than ever, which is cool. Because I'm considering making the volcano the last stage in the game. Yeah, I lost pretty hard. Yeah, I think my thoughts were to actually show off some of the power-ups, but
nothing like a volcano level to.
Yeah. Oh jeez. All right.
Don't you have a god mode?
Get good. Coop, get good.
Yeah, don't you have a god mode in your game?
Yeah, almost.
So how long have you been developing this overall?
Just over 2 years. I started in December. What is it? 2017.
Okay.
Here, that's what I was trying to show. Is the
Nate.
the gravity well is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't do any damage, but you can get really creative with it, which is pretty fun. But yeah, just over 2 years. Basically, as soon as I could is when I started. So I think I wasn't even done with my scripting class before I got like some of the real like bones of this project going.
So were you developing this while you were in school?
Yeah, like right at the end. It was basically like the beginning of this project was like my final exam. And at that point, the game was it was all gray boxes. It had yellow boxes for treasure, and it had split screen multiplayer, which I think for the amount of time I had was pretty good. But yeah, like a lot of the art came later.
So, are you looking at adding online multiplayer to this before release, or are you going to try to do that after?
Definitely not before 1.0. I do like the idea. Right now, it's kind of a thing where it is intended for couch co-op, but a lot of people do want online multiplayer. Parsec has actually been working really great if you have a decent upload speed for your server. If I were to do proper online matches, it would open up a lot of opportunities that I think would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't want to like go promise anything, but it's something I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, again, you're a one-man shop, so you can only go so far. I get it.
Yeah. It's one of those like oh well, we'll see how things go with some of the new people coming in. Like I said, I do have some extra help, kind of getting worked out, and hopefully that could turn into something a little bit bigger. It just kind of remains to be seen how things go.
This is why I'm surprised. And I don't know if maybe they're waiting for. Well, I'm surprised. This is one where I'm actually surprised that Microsoft hasn't stepped up on this, because they love these kind of multiplayer games. I mean, these are especially if they could help you get this thing online with like Xbox Live. This could be like a really cool Laser League kind of online.
Well, maybe one day we need to get Chris Charla on if we ever get a chance to. I tweeted him, hey, check out this game.
I'm gonna DM him about this.
Yeah, but
he does.
Yeah, no, this would be great on Xbox. And if you do add the multiplayer, it'd be fun. So to me, it's one of these games where you can pick up and try to challenge yourself. Like you said, like Coop, had a hard time with level stage 3 or Horizon 3. So one of these games where you can go back and try to get that, and then go to the next, and then play with friends. I think I had a good time.
Awesome.
Playing against other people. It is challenging. I came in second. But nice. I think because I was at first it was kind of like just looking at everything, and then it's like, okay, I can go and hit the players. 'Cause I saw people trying to hit me too. I figured that out. So once I kind of got the gist of everything, I was like, all right. Then I got on a roll. But this is great. I'm glad to see that you making this game is something that you wanted to make, and something that a lot of us gamers can enjoy. I love playing all kinds of games. Like to me, it's not about big AAA games, big budget, whatever. I love having indies like this and different genres.
There's definitely room for a game like this. It really is.
It is, especially nowadays. I'm glad that gaming has expanded to where developers like you, small independent, can bring a game like this to the mass.
I like to think that as like small studios, we kind of have a role to play. in terms of putting stuff out there that no one else would touch.
Right.
Because it's a risky thing, right? Like when you have a big company with huge budgets, like you can't just blow it on something that you think might be cool, right? Like
Right.
you have to make sure you're getting your money back.
Well, this game
Yeah,
right now on
whereas-
Steam is $8.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I was thinking of something. You mentioned getting second place earlier.
Uh-huh.
I was realizing earlier this week that the game wasn't correctly scoring second place. So, like in some cases, it gave the wrong player with the wrong score, or it gave the right player with the wrong score, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be fixed.
So I actually came in first. Now.
Maybe, I don't know.
No.
Like it seemed like sometimes it worked correctly and sometimes it didn't. Yeah, it was doing like it was looking at the scores in the wrong order or something like that, and
Yeah.
it was an easy fix. It was just a matter of noticing. But yeah, a lot of stuff like that happens because I'm it was like my first like programming project where I've done everything myself. So
Yeah, I mean, it's really.
This stage looks cool. It kind of reminds me of like
Ghouls and Ghosts.
yeah.
yeah.
It has that look. Yeah.
Yeah, originally, like right now, this is kind of the last area of the game.
Uh-huh.
I've kind of been not liking this level as much as I'd like to, and it's been bothering me a lot because, like, it feels like coming after the volcano stage, it's just a little anticlimactic. Like, the level is harder in a lot of ways, but it kind of forces you to slow down, I think, because of the spikes. So, kind of decide what to do. Yeah. Well, right now, that's kind of the idea is to just swap them. And when I first started building this stage is when I finally got like the breakable objects going, and I was going to go with this whole like fighting through like these vines that keep growing in. But I later decided that mechanic made more sense in the ice stage, because then you can have ice that freezes in place and you can get trapped under the ice and things like that. And yeah, feels like it kind of takes away from the shtick of this level. So yeah, I'm like trying to decide if I need a new mechanic or what, but this level's going to change a lot one way or another.
Nice.
Oh, there's good. I was gonna say, where's the big boss then? There he is.
Yeah, he's
that's cool.
And
he
so
summons these.
that's an interesting question. So talk, tell us about, if I saw this correctly when you loaded it up while we were testing. So this is in Unity, right? This game?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
Did you pick that just over the ease? I mean, not every, but most indie developers seem to gravitate towards Unity for their game. Is it just ease of getting it up and running, or is there, what drew you to that, to using Unity?
I guess the short answer is because it's the first thing I learned. The slightly less short answer is because it has its own animation tools.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like it because with what I'm doing now, I could get things running in the game very quickly. Like in terms of the 2D stuff, because all I need to do is make the 2D art, break it into pieces, import it into Unity, define the pieces, and then I could start putting them in, build a character, and start animating right there in the tool. And it helps to be organized as I go along. But one of the things that's nice, like besides the fact that it speeds up the process, is that since the animation tool is built into Unity, the animator has access to inspector properties. I don't know if you guys do any game dev stuff, but an example is like if I write a piece of code that says like, I don't know, the code has like his value for speed, right? Like it says his speed is 5. If for whatever reason I want part of the animation to make him go faster, I could have the animation change his speed that's referenced in the code. Whereas like if I did the animation in a tool outside of Unity, there would be no way to make those references. I guess an easier example is like I could have a piece of code that plays a sound. So like I could have like his swooshy sound when he attacks. The animation actually calls the piece of code that tells him to make the sound when he's supposed to, and that way, if for whatever reason the animation doesn't play, the audio doesn't play either. So little things like that, just they're just really good tools to have. They let me do a lot of things, and I've just been really liking it. So.
Okay. And what kind of challenges have you? And you know, things beyond. Hey, where do I put this? You know, the monster one. No. Yeah. You know, what kind of challenges have you run into, or hurdles? You know, just things like that. I mean, that beyond level design. You know, like do I want to put this level before the giant volcano? But what kind of things do you see that you have to work through?
A lot of it is the fact that I'm learning how to program as I go. I mean, I'm a lot better at it than when I started by a long mile. But it's just little things like creatures not pathing around correctly or being able to find their way around. One of the big ones was like adding special abilities for the creatures so that they could do something other than just like attack in front of them was a challenge. Mostly because like since it's a separate system from like the base AI, they have to communicate with each other in a way that like they're not tripping over each other. So there's a little bit less jankiness in the creatures when they're going after you and attacking and throwing fireballs and doing whatever it is they're gonna do.
There's a decent amount of polish in. I mean, we're watching the big turtle. There's a decent amount of polish in that.
Yeah, and it wasn't always there. So like as an example, like he before he would like fire off his attack while he's in the middle of his other attack, right? And then that's when things kind of fall apart a little bit, where he's gotta suddenly like in a frame or two spin halfway around and change his pose to do a whole thing. And if they're not in some kind of order that makes sense, it looks pretty broken. And like another example is like when he does his snap attack,
right, which he just did,
right. If he could snap and turn really, really fast, it becomes super strong, because if you've got a player on either side, he could use one bite to kill them both, and that's just not fair. Right. So, little things like that with, making sure that things like that only happen when we want them to happen is important.
They're like Koopas on steroids.
Yeah, it's my little nod to Mario. I feel like there's some influence for sure. Like I have the Mario jump in this game, so like if I just tap my jump button real small, I get a tiny jump, and then if I hold it down, I get my big jump. So
nice.
I like having those little things where I guess one of the biggest things is just having controls that feel good is very important to me. Mm-hmm. And just kind of figuring out how to get there has been an interesting journey.
Nice.
Oh, and another big thing that still comes up and is still something that's a work in progress is just teaching players how to play the game. You might have noticed once or twice, I think I got a message up here telling me to charge. I went through the trouble of actually like trapping players in these. They're not completely trapped, but it's intended to force them to kind of learn the charge attack, because yeah, if you don't know the charge attack, you're not going to be very successful. And like this level, you can get away with just kind of knowing it, but later on, like you need it to be able to like pass through attacks and defend yourself, and it's a big part of how you play the game is having knowledge of that. Didn't get my picker.
Quite nice, Peter. You're gonna have to try that single player again.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go pick this up on Steam and see if I can play this on my Surface. See how that works out for me.
Yeah.
My daughter, she has a nice, better laptop that she games on. So sometimes when she brings that over, play on there.
Yeah, and it does have a like a little like resolution control. So if it's running a little bit choppy, it should be the graphics. Yeah, so it does give you the option to turn it down and to turn down some of the settings. So,
what did you play it as, Peter, on the settings?
I don't remember.
I wonder if Coop is in chat, what he said it at. Yeah, Coop's our PC Master Race.
Okay.
Buddy, so he definitely, he plays a little bit on everything, so.
Cool. Yeah, I've kind of been that way too.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a good question. So when you're not playing your own game, what do you like? What's your pleasure?
So I kind of bounce around a lot. I really do like indie games a lot. I played a ton of Shovel Knight when that came out, and all the expansions for it were super great. Axiom Verge is another indie game I really like, but those were a while ago. Towerfall. I liked the new Doom game that came out. What was it? It's like 2014 by now or something.
Yeah.
It's already like
that was my 2015 game of the year.
Yeah. That game was great. But Doom I liked. Like normally I don't care for first-person shooters too much, but I like Doom because it forces you to kind of run around and platform and do all those things that I look for in a game. And then let's see what else. I played Kingdom Hearts these past couple weeks and enjoyed it mostly. It's pretty much what I expected.
Did you play the first two?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, it was what I expected based on my experience of the series, which was a story that makes no sense and flippy moves.
That's what a lot of people. I have not played that series at all, and a lot of people have been saying that it's just convoluted. It's not really. You're not sure where the story's going. Yeah, and some people manage to make sense of the story, and good on them.
So you mostly. But go ahead. Sorry.
I really do like the combat in the game a lot. It's always been really tight and really really responsive. I don't know. I just like the way they handle basic combat abilities and the kind of RPG elements that you get mixed in with it. I thought were a pretty cool combination, which is why I've stuck with playing them every so often.
Are you mostly PC, or do you own consoles?
I do own a PS4.
Okay.
Yeah. So I still play some things on it. I played Towerfall on that. Overcooked. What else do I have?
Oh, Peter, it's one of your games.
Yeah. That's a fun game.
Yeah. Oh, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time was kind of fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ooh. That was so one of the very few games that my wife would play with me.
Yeah.
It makes an interesting single player game. It's possible, but it's much harder if you if you don't have 2 players. But some of the mechanics in that were phenomenal. Those back when I was still back in the day when I had a website, I was a game journalist. I did a lot of reviews and things like that. I started when I started this channel, or the YouTube channel. I thought, well, I'll do some reviews of some stuff, just like the old days. And that was one of the first games I think I reviewed, was Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Nice.
And I really enjoyed it. Another one was No Time to Explain.
I know. I'm sure I heard of that one, but what was that one all about?
Crazy platformer about a guy who gets a visit from his future self, and he's got no time to explain, but the world's going to hell, and he's gotta help fix it. It's just really, really good.
Nice.
So yeah, those are some good good games to play.
I just realized my camera is stuck. Should I put it back?
Yeah.
So I got my my beloved player 2 here.
Oh, Guacamole. Jeff, Project Jeff in the chat said Guacamole. That is another good one.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
We gotta play Guacamole. I gotta play Guacamole too.
I haven't played it too. I played a lot of the second.
Hey, there we go. Tiffany, you're on camera.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, she can't hear you because we're on my headphones.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, let's see. Hold on. You can turn it up enough that maybe. All right, maybe they can hear you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh, happy belated Valentine's Day and all that.
And to you.
Hopefully he took a break from developing his game to do something nice for you yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
But we heard that you are ruthless on this game.
Yeah, so
you take no mercy. No
Right.
mercy.
That you're ruthless? Without mercy?
I mean, it's the game, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
So this map here is pretty classic in that since it's really flat, it forces players to kind of get in each other's way.
Okay. So Speaking of Guacamole, it almost sounds like the music.
Yeah, this might be my favorite track in the game. This one and the dungeon track I really, really like a lot. Yeah.
So what other games do you both play together? Like the other games you were talking
What's the
about?
last one we played, Tiffany? Was it Lovers or?
Like Cuphead.
Okay, yeah.
Very good. Very nice.
Yeah.
How far?
Oh,
We both killed each
double
other.
kill. Ow! You're not kidding. Wait, who's in the red?
I'm red.
Oh yeah, she's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how you can lob those like a worms game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun because if you're really careful, you can get some pretty good like off-screen throws and surprise people with them. But the way I've kind of put this level together is we have this kill box where it just keeps giving you more arrows, and you can hang out here and camp if you're so inclined. And some people do that to great success.
She's got all the gold, and she is still coming after you.
Jeez. Oh, but you didn't bring spears with you.
Oh!
And she still has 3 lives.
Oh yeah, what the hell? No.
This is great. We get to see
Maybe
split screen.
all my
And
lives
what
already.
the split screen is just as smooth as a single.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez.
Dang, man.
Getting wrecked, man.
Yeah, you are. And this is Tiffany. This is gonna be immortalized on Twitch and YouTube.
Yep. There we go. At least I got something cool in there. Oh, I forgot to bring. Oh no.
Oh, wow.
Crap.
Wow.
That's all right. Like my wife, you know, she likes the game. Lately, we haven't been, but she likes to play Halo and fighting games, and she's probably better than me in fighting games. So I'll admit that.
Wish my wife was that cool.
My wife doesn't play any games.
No, like I said, Tiffany, we were talking about Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time before you came on. That's one of the few games my wife and I would actually play.
Oh, yeah.
Lovers, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Tower
like
Fall was
Overcooked.
the one I thought you got pretty good at.
Yeah, Tower's fun.
Did y'all play Overcooked together also?
Oh, yeah, Overcooked is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he end up sleeping on the couch after that? Because that can be a
Yeah, make or break.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although I have
It's like
watched-
I don't know if our relationship could handle Overcooked 2.
I did watch my wife once. Damn, she is savage. I did watch my wife once try to play Oddworld: Abe's Odyssey, and she was decent at it. But my wife has very little patience, so when she starts to die a lot, she turns into a different person. I remember one time I actually had to ask her, who are you? Because you're not who I married. Just shut up, I'm going to beat this level.
Games can do that to people.
In the meantime,
emotions running high.
She's got
Yeah.
in the meantime, she's got all the gold. Just waiting.
Oh no.
He's just scoping him out. I feel like we're watching esports right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my hopes. Like, I really want this to one day somehow become an esport.
This is amazing.
Oh crap.
Niall,
Yeah, I know.
Niall says, "Bring it to Switch," and I'll say, "Shut up and take my money."
Yeah. I tell people it's a goal. It's not a plan, but it's a goal.
There you go. It's a stretch goal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, got a good start here.
Yeah.
So definitely, you know, I wish you the luck going forward. I hope, you know, see where it goes. You know,
Yeah. Thanks.
but it's definitely a great start for a first game. This is awesome.
I'm gonna link Chris Charlotte to this show. I want him to see this. Cause this is, I mean, the more I'm watching this, the more I'm now. I will say I get now why it's more. I get now why it's more more of a multiplayer game.
Jeez.
I mean, this is.
What the hell? Die!
Oh,
Won't you
mercy.
die?
Oh my god, this is fantastic. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
So and I see the boss. The points on the boss are going up too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that actually happens a lot on this stage, just because this is one of the first stages where players really start going after each other.
Yeah.
Mal says she's
I'm
evil.
slow.
Wow. Yeah.
Now,
Let
Well
me
done,
see if I can
Tiffany.
do
Well
that.
done.
yeah.
That's fantastic.
Change the audio here to not be on the headphones.
That's great.
Let's see. I don't know if this will mess with things too much. Speaker.
Yeah. See, like that's a good demonstration, like how competitive that game.
Yeah, I mean
Until
that
it
is
is,
totally
And that's what I saw at PAX South. So
that is totally different than no. I don't mean this in a bad way. The single player was cool. Watch the single player game looked like a platformer. This looks looks like 2D Power Stone.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was getting at earlier, where the game is definitely centered around multiplayer, and I've been doing what I can to make single player exciting, but it's just it's hard to compare against having human opponents.
No, I can definitely understand that now. I mean, I totally see the difference when you have just another player.
Yeah, and then imagine 4.
Right.
See, and as good as your wife is, you're gonna have to make another stage where she's the final boss.
Not as good at the later stages because I have less practice.
So, what influence have you had on this game, Tiffany? Like, while you were making this, what inputs has she had?
Oh, inputs.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen you can hide by playing dead?
Oh yeah, I forgot
wow.
that was your idea.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that was my idea.
Nice.
Hey, stop it! I'm trying to play dead.
So while you're doing that, the enemies don't attack.
Nice.
I still died because it's picking up money.
Yeah, the enemies can't see you as long as you're playing dead.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Nice.
What else?
Yeah, I almost forgot I had that.
This is fantastic. I'm telling you, I'm really glad. People that I talk to about, when we have other developers and things on, I'm gonna tell them about Parsec because this is quite amazing.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like you should be able to just jump in, which is really cool. That's like the whole point. Like it's good that we can do this, but imagine if you were playing also, right? It's really cool.
Tempting me to go find my.
I'm telling you, man, you should.
Although I think, unfortunately, I did not tell it to install the controller.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, that's got to be easy to change, but
I don't know if I.
Yeah, without knowing offhand.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have to uninstall and reinstall. But you know what? For the future,
yeah,
something we're definitely gonna. We're gonna look at because this is.
Yeah.
It would be neat to. Oh, she got squished.
Oh, what's all this money here? I'm gonna get it. All right.
Now said if I were him, I'd sleep with one eye open.
Yeah. I'll just. Oh no! I did the exact same thing.
Like, you got nervous?
We're two sides of the same smashing block.
Oh, what? He can go.
Wow.
Hey.
Yeah, he can reach through it.
I think that's.
Should I fix that?
This is my contribution.
Yeah. She's like, it sucks.
Well, if other people say, there you go. So if other people complain about the game, certain mechanics, you can say, well, my wife, this is what she wanted.
I feel like that doesn't fly well with most gamers.
Yeah.
They don't know who you are.
It's okay.
If they knew
we're
who
learning,
who you
we're
were.
learning quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really. I tell you, the colors, like one of the things that's striking to me is how you have almost two different color palettes. You have a color palette above the water and a color palette below the water, and you can tell the difference being up there versus being under the water. It's really, in fact, if I'm noticing, your guy your red changed to purple, hers changed to blue, and as you're going down, it's getting darker.
Yeah.
You nailed.
I'm glad you noticed.
You're nailing that aesthetic.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is that I want it to look like you're underwater, right? Like,
Yeah, no, it's working.
I feel like the feeling has to be sold. Like it's, I don't know, maybe me just being picky with what my game should be, but
be picky because that's,
Yeah.
that's how success happens.
I mean, that's what we need in gaming, because sometimes the bigger games, they don't bring some of these other, certain things. So any developers like you can bring features that are not used in other games, and and they get noticed. So
yeah, no, I think it's true.
yeah.
But I mean, the way I do like to see it is everybody pays attention to different things, and they all have different things that are important to them.
Yeah.
For me, it's tight controls and visuals that read and that are understood as easily as possible.
Yeah, like you're your own boss, so you kind of have your own schedule.
Right.
Well, I mean, but you also, your wife probably, she is the real boss, right?
In a lot of ways, yeah. She helps me stay organized, or at least tells me to.
Right.
I'm just trying to make it better, is what I like to
There
say.
There you go. I'm sorry, and I want to make sure I had it right. So you guys are married?
Yes.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah, that's one thing me and my wife have been saying, like, better together, but
Yep.
Yeah. I definitely think it's true.
Well, and it's nice to, it's nice when it's nice when your spouse believes in your work,
Yeah.
and not just that. I mean, the fact that you guys are playing, together and having fun with it, that's got to make the development easier for you.
I think it does. I mean, it's hard enough, building and testing a 4-player game by myself.
Sure.
So, having somebody around to at least sometimes, come and drive a little bit and make sure things make sense or work the way they're intended, it's a good thing. But I mean, before even any of that, the fact is I'm doing this full time, and she's able to work and kind of earn all the money while I'm screwing around on this. So
So I definitely was gonna ask that if you,
yeah. Without her, this wouldn't be happening at all, or at least it'd be happening much more slowly.
Sure, because I mean we know developers who. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said, that's why you're supposed to let me win.
I don't think he's letting you. Trust me. I'm watching some serious skill here. I don't think he's letting you at all. But we meet so many indie developers that this is their secondary. Garrett is one.
Yeah.
He's got a full-time job and he's got a wrap, and he had a child too, so he has to wrap family time and all that around his
and
game.
he said even his wife helped with the game also.
Yeah.
She has some,
and she does his marketing and stuff like that. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, he got you there.
I learned a lot playing with her.
This looks. I'm in all honesty, this looks much. It looks like a much different game when you are trying to also run from your wife. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not worried about the boss in the game. He's worried about his wife.
Oh yeah, I forgot to check his points. Oh my gosh, arrows. Oh.
Oh, and she's going to get your stuff. So, this is really cool. And so you're like you say, you are expecting this to come out of early access in March.
Yeah. That's the current goal. I did say October for a long time, and then realized that was never gonna happen. So I mean, March should happen. But I do want to leave a little side note. Is you never know, something might come up.
Hey, you know what? The big boys do it too. We just need another couple of weeks to polish our game.
Oh gosh, that's a good shot.
Oh! I tell you, this is going to be on YouTube. And she's going, this is great. Oh my goodness. What is that? It's a rolling vortex.
That's the gravity well.
Okay. Oh, it's a rolling vortex.
Yeah. It would have pulled her in. I was trying to trap her, and it's like it'd stick a bomb on her. But...
Sorry, I should have given information at least to you, but it looks
Okay, I got a couple more tries here.
Oh wow.
She's too good.
She waited for you to. get
Tiffany,
taken out
you're being
there.
kind of mean right now.
no.
Oh my god. Oh, she picked it back. Oh! I'm telling you, I almost just want to commentate like an esports game right now.
Yeah.
Don't even want to talk about the technical aspect. I just want to be like we're commentating a wrestling match. This really is. Yeah, it does. It just has such a different feel from when you're just dealing with the monsters. It's much more fast paced when you're just when you're just dealing with the monsters.
And a lot of that also comes down to like, you know, the game is going to be as hard as your opponents are, and it's a little bit tricky, kind of balancing the gameplay for one or the other. Like most of it's balanced towards multiplayer, but I don't know. I'm always looking for ways to make single player as good as multiplayer.
Well, have you thought about computer AI?
Yeah. I'm not totally sure how I would make that work, but dang it. Whatever, Tiffany.
Is this controller only?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just I'm in two different places, guys.
That's what it is, right?
Uh-huh.
He's concentrating on being on the podcast.
Yeah. I was trying to look cool, and then I lost and died. Yeah.
But you know, being a good loser is really cool too.
What do you guys think? Am I a good loser?
I think so. This is fun to watch. This is just fun to watch. Now,
should we try Volcano?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
This might be rough. I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
Well, let's do one more and let's make it the Volcano. This will be a good one. With the bad guy with the evil thing from the Avengers movie.
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of chance to play test the monster in its current state, so this will be interesting.
That would be fun. Not that I'm trying to give you any ideas, but have somebody available to be the monster.
Yeah, a lot of people ask about that, believe it or not.
Did you ever? It was an Xbox game that got canceled that made me want to cry because it got canceled, called Fable Legends. And
I heard about Fable Legends. I played the old ones.
It was a different type of Fable game. So it was kind of a 4-on-1 where you had a band of 4 heroes, and then the 5th person could play as the evil doer in an RTS setting, where he would set up enemies and traps and stuff like that. It was really cool, and unfortunately,
what happened?
Oh, okay. See, trash talking is not the way to do this. Just saying. Just saying.
So she hadn't actually seen the changes I made to the boss.
So it was a tabletop game?
No, it was an Xbox. It was an Xbox game that was going to be kind of a free to play. It was a third person kind of adventure game in one sense. Diego, being an old school gamer from those days, you would remember Phantasy Star Online?
Yeah, I never played those, but I always saw stuff about it.
So good.
Yeah.
So it had that element to it. It was like Phantasy Star Online, but the bad guy played in an RTS mode. Dude, she is like trying. She's really trying to troll you with that.
No, she's doing it to me.
What was the other game, Mike, that also had a player can it? I think it came
Evolve.
out. Evolve, yeah.
Yeah, Evolve.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it was
I saw
a
a lot of
great
that.
concept when they first showed it. Unfortunately, didn't seem to do well after it launched. But
Oh man, I got wrecked. If it was my game, it's supposed to let me win.
and it doesn't look like the boss is doing well either.
I feel a lot calmer without hearing the music.
Oh yeah.
Usually the music is pounding my heart's also like, oh my god. No.
And we can hear a little bit of the soundtrack in the background too. That really sounds cool. I don't know if Chris and Peter can't, but I can, and the people in the stream can.
Okay, cool.
So.
Oh. Better plug in my laptop. I guess it got disconnected. There we go. No?
No, you're still.
There we go. Okay.
Are you running out of juice?
Yeah. I just have this sitting on a little ottoman in front of my couch. So we're on a couch here. I
Nice.
can kind of see. But yeah, there you go. That's the gist of what multiplayer looks like.
That is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's.
We got a
It's
couple people in
fun,
chat that are impressed, and they're some were asking like, what platform is this on? So
Yeah, you can find it on Steam.
Steam, and they can play with controller right now. Yep.
What's that?
Yeah, one of them asked if this was they can play with the controller. So
Yeah.
I told them, yep.
Is it controller only, or is it just can you play with mouse and keyboard?
It's controller only. I am looking into trying to get at least one player to be able to use mouse and keyboard, but it's a little bit weird. So hopefully I'll get that in, but at the moment it's a no. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how good it would. I don't know how good you'd be able to go with a mouse and keyboard.
It'd be hard.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. I mean, just my experience like playing archived games from the 90s on my PC of the 2D variety. Mouse and keyboard is kind of tricky. Like you know what? I had this is actually kind of a fun one. I had Mega Man X on DOS, I think. I forget if it was for Windows, but I seem to remember like it launched through DOS.
Yes, in 4-color CGA.
Was it only 4 colors? I remember it looking like the normal one.
Let me take a quick look. I mean, it had CGA. I don't know if it was. Let's see. I don't know if you could play it in EGA or not. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I have in my head that I had to.
Yeah, it looks like let's see. Game features no music, uses inferior graphics and sound compared to their NES counterparts due to relying completely on the PC speaker. It doesn't say. You know what though? The picture kind of looks EGA. Here, I'll show you what. Let's see if this is what you're talking about. Is this what? Is that?
No. No, the one I had was a port of Mega Man X.
Okay, because that's Mega Man Robot Masters. Hold on, let me see. Mega Man.
It might have been Windows. Maybe it just like had this big. I don't know. For some reason, I always remember this long like script running like before the game started with the black window.
Oops.
But the point was that I tried playing Mega Man X using a keyboard, and it made it way harder until I actually got like some off-brand gamepad to actually play the game with.
Yeah. Well, Mega Man X was probably VGA, because by that time, I think by that time it was probably because it was PC CD-ROMs. That would definitely have been VGA by then. Yeah,
was that like 94-ish?
Yeah, I was just thinking the original first Mega Man that came out on PC looked a lot like the picture on the screen here, which
that's crazy.
That's EGA. I think that's 16 color.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 16 color.
That looks about right.
Yeah.
That was the pinnacle. I remember.
Yeah.
There was that, and then I had a Tandy 1000 EX. So I had TGA, which was also 16 color, but it was Tandy's proprietary. So, but very cool stuff. I mean, it was back in the day, man. You were like, I don't want to play this in cyan.
Yeah.
So, but look, I tell you, really appreciate your being able to demo this for our viewers and for us. And we're very appreciative to your wife Tiffany for coming in and whipping your ass for a little while.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, is being taught a lesson and understanding what life's all about.
So no, we appreciate her helping you demo the multiplayer. That was fantastic.
Yeah, you hear that? I said thank you. Yeah.
So, but so and thank you for coming on and talking with us about aqua lungers and and kind of giving us the insights onto you and your and what you're doing with Warp Core. What I tell you what I think impresses me the most is that a game that looks that good in early access from someone who was not a game developer, like that's your first game, coming from being just being an artist to deciding to actually develop a game, and something that to me is polished as an early access game goes.
I really appreciate it. And I mean, I really appreciate you guys sitting down and spending some time, checking it out and asking the questions. It really means a lot.
Well, and we do appreciate. I know we wanted to have you last week, but the honest truth is we wanted that time to get to know the game, to kind of see it. I wanted to get to know what I could about you before we had you on to talk. And I was just more and more impressed with what I saw. So I'm really appreciative, and I know Peter and Chris are, that we were able to kind of push this back long enough so we could really get the best of our discussion with you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think it worked out really great.
Yeah.
So
a couple people
I'm just glad you guys cared enough to to make a hard decision when you needed to. I'm always going to be okay with that.
Yeah, and I think in the long run, I think it was the right call, because what you showed us today was fantastic, and being able to get a little bit of background first, I think was a big help. That way we didn't look like we were asking dumb questions and things. So a couple people in chat, I mean, really have enjoyed that as well. And hopefully some of those folks who play PC games can check it out. Again, it's on Steam for $8. And I'm gonna DM Charla and tell him he needs to watch this show, and he needs to get a hold of you.
I tagged him, so
because this is a game there are certain games for me that are kind of pick up and play. These multiplayer games like Laser League, like it's funny the big brouhaha this week going on is about the latest Crackdown game. Which has a multiplayer component to it, and they had a technical test over last weekend, and as I was playing it, I was thinking, it's a game that I could play, go play some other things, come back to this, just sit down and slam on it for a bit, get a couple hours in, and just keep coming back to it and coming back to it and coming back to it to kind of get my game fix. I see Aqua Lungers in that vein. Like every once in a while, especially if it was on something that was either Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus online. For those who own a Switch that can play it up on the rooftop during the rooftop party. I really could see getting into this as a game that I would just every once in a while go, hey guys, let's play some Aqua Lungers and fire it up and just go at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the hope, man. I mean, the dream is for people to, when they're hanging out together with their friends, they fire it up and, basically trash each other as much as possible. And
get big by the words.
I tell people one of the things that's kind of been important for me in making this game is letting people play with their own personalities. You saw me and my wife kind of like to battle each other a lot and go after each other and try to steal money, but you don't have to do that, right? We're just doing that because we're crappy people. But if you want to, you could just try to use your speed and outpace your opponents and do your own thing, or you could just hang out and kill fish or whatever. And the basic idea is, if you're being rude, it's not because the game's making you.
Right. I noticed while you were playing the game, your camera was much more stable.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Try blanking it out one more time. I do want people to see it before we call it.
Here, let's see. I think something weird happened. I think my connection cut in and out. Oh, okay. Now it's giving me the button.
Yeah,
for a second it wasn't giving me.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah, fast back up, especially on the basketball court.
Is it doing anything? I can't tell.
No, it's frozen.
Let's see. Yeah, kind of sometimes gives me the. There we go. Okay, hold on. This might do the trick.
There we go.
Hey, all right.
All right.
It has its moments. Like today, it did it to me once, but it hasn't done it. So I guess it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I get that a lot on Skype. It could be just because it's on my old Surface Pro and it's over Wi-Fi.
Could be.
Yeah, me too.
Are you using the latest version?
Probably not.
That could be too. Well, no, I think you are. I think you have to be because I'm on. Because otherwise, it would have been harder for me to pick you up.
Yeah, I'm using the Windows Store version.
That's why. Don't do that. Yeah. When we're done, delete that and use the actual Windows client. That'll help you a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, but
that must be it.
Yeah. So where can people? So I didn't get a chance to because it was just so long. Where can people find you? Get in touch with you, ask you questions. Other than
here, maybe the smart thing to do is to flash a card. Let me get one real quick.
Nice, he's got cards. You're orb hunting, aren't you, Peter?
Yeah.
You're orb hunting.
I'm addicted.
Is that
You're
the
orb
addicted to
hunting
the
without
orbs.
me.
I see other people doing it too.
They're like crack. This orbs.
You are orb hunting without me.
And I'm doing this on my single player character.
You're doing it in your sleep. That's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to talk about. Cool.
I have
He's got one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little too close. A little too close.
too close.
Too close.
Too close. Yeah, back up.
Stop.
All right. Yeah, part of the thing is my Twitter handles are slightly different, so I want to make sure to give people the right information.
All right, let's
Companies work for
up a little.
that.
There you go. Stop. Back up just a little. All right, you know what? We've got it in our Twitter. And when I tweeted it out, I tweeted it. When it
Yeah.
We'll make sure we.
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. If you're on Twitter, it's warp4DA_GO. It's www.warp4studio.com.
Fantastic.
Is on Steam. It's available now in access and is super close. 0.0 launch.
Nice. All right. So, as we do with everybody, you've been an awesome guest, and we'd love to have you back. Whenever you like. A lot of our folks like to come back sometimes just to talk games, like not even to talk about their own game. We have the guy whose picture we had for you earlier. Like I said, he's the community manager for Warhorse Studios, who made Kingdom Come Deliverance, and once in a while he just jumps on just to kind of hang out and talk games with us. You are more than welcome anytime you want to come and just kind of be part of the show, be part of the crew.
Yeah, I would love that.
So it's been great. Your mic is cutting in and out a bit, so.
Sorry, I forgot the mic was on my headset.
I
put it way over there.
Oh, there you go. So that was me earlier when I had it over here and turned off, and people were like, "I can't hear you." You certainly are welcome on anytime you want. And we'd love to have you back. Like I say, if anything, just to kind of talk games and stuff, and swap industry stories and things like that, and always talk about Aqua Lungers or whatever your next. Whatever that super platform
I'd
game
totally be
is
down for that. I mean, you guys have been great hosts. I've just been happy to be here and really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. You guys have been really cool. So.
No, we appreciate your time too. I know it's hard when you're developing a game to take the time out to talk to people. So we really appreciate it as well. And in all seriousness, we appreciate your wife for coming on and helping you demo the split screen multiplayer. I honestly think that was a
I'll just point it. There you go.
No, I honestly think that helped show the game a lot.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, thank you so much. Thanks you.
For having me.
You're welcome. And so we're going to go ahead and call it a night. Get ready for the rest of the weekend. Diego, thank you so much for being on with us. Seriously.
No problem at all.
Pleasure.
Thank you also.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely, anytime you want. People in the chat room are really, really pleased as well, and you can see it on the left there. They're a fantastic part of the show. So you guys really did you did a great job tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, and hopefully next time we can get some of you guys to play also.
You know what? I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. And I'll tell you what we could do, because I stream with Streamlabs on my other PC, but I might be able to do it over here. I'm wondering if maybe we could do some Twitch streaming of this.
We can plan that out and have a Aqua Lunger night.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We'll keep in touch and figure out if we can do some streaming on our channel with this.
Yeah, and this way, if this is something you guys would be interested in, it would help me a lot. Just to have somebody I could throw any changes in front of before I upload it to Steam. Yeah, so I could send. I could basically have you guys on and maybe maybe kick some tires every so often would be really nice.
That'd be fun.
Wow, we'd be honored.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Thank you to everyone in the chat room. Man, you guys are lit as always. It's been a lot of fun. Agent Hugh Tink, you can take us out tonight.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Diego and Tiffany, thanks for being here on the show. That was great. I mean, the chat was lit. We'll be back next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good weekend. Game on, guys and gals, and everybody.
Have a good weekend.
And hunt some orbs.
Let's go orb hunting.
Thank you, everybody. Just game.
All right. There it is.